What is up, YouTube? So I had a poll on Instagram the other day and I asked you guys what you wanted to see on YouTube, and you guys said that you wanted to know how to build freaking muscle. So that's what we're gonna learn how to do today. I got me some notes. I hope you guys have something to take some notes with. Fill your brain up with some good knowledge. So I've got 3 areas that you're gonna need to cover if you're wanting to build some muscle. Let's just jump right into it. The first area that you need to pay attention to is your nutrition. I know. Literally, I preach about your nutrition all the time, but it is literally the most important factor, okay? So to build muscle, you need to be in a calorie surplus. And I'm not saying like just eat a lot. Like, be serious about it. Actually calculate your BMR, calculate your TDEE, and eat above that number of calories. Of course, macros play into that as well, but you need to be in a calorie surplus if you want to build muscle, okay? Why? Because, since you guys want to know, you need to do that because if your body doesn't have extra energy to build muscle, it's not gonna build it. If your body only has that much energy per day, like to maintain its homeostasis, it is only gonna do those things. It's not gonna be like, should I digest this food or should I build muscle? I'm gonna build this muscle. No, it's always your body is, its entire goal is to keep you alive. And so it's gonna go over those functions and make sure those functions are taken care of first. And then any extra energy it has, it's like, oh man, I actually need to build muscle in this part. And that's when it's gonna use that energy to do so. Another thing about your nutrition, and then we'll get off of the topic of nutrition, is your pre and post workout meals. So you want to make sure that, obviously to build muscle, we'll go into this. Obviously to build muscle, you're going to have to work out. You're going to have to train them. But you also want to make sure that your body is getting what it needs to around your workout times. So your pre and post workout meals, that is like the optimal time for you to be fueling your body correctly, because that's when your body is going to be really absorbing a lot of nutrients, because that's when it needs to. So you need to make sure that your pre and post workout meals are giving you enough energy to get through your lifts, and is giving you enough energy to really push yourself, and is giving you enough energy to start rebuilding those muscles, because that's how you build muscle. You tear them down and you rebuild them bigger than they were before. For me personally, I keep my fats very low around pre and post workout, and that's because fats are digested very slowly. So I don't really want slow digestion when I'm trying to get energy for my workout. So my pre and post workout consists of moderate protein intake and a little bit higher carb intake. So now we're gonna talk about the second factor you need to think about, the second area, which is your training. You need to actually train to grow, which means you have to overload your muscles with a stimulus to make them grow. Your muscles are not just gonna be like just chilling, and just being like, I think I need to get bigger. And then they just get bigger. You know what I mean? You have to force them to get bigger. If you think about it, like in your life, literally nothing improves. Nothing improves if it thinks it's fine where it's at. If you think you're fine where you're at right now, in your job, in your life, in your relationships, are you gonna try to improve them? Probably not, because you're fine where you are. Your muscles are gonna be the exact same way. They're gonna be the same way. So if you're not really challenging your muscles and you're not really forcing them to be like, hey, you need to be bigger because this weight I'm lifting, you need to be able to lift it, then they're not gonna grow. They're not gonna grow. Muscle growth is very slow. You're not gonna be able to like measure your muscle growth from week to week. Like you can your fat loss. Fat loss is easy. Did I go up on the scale or did I go down? like this week. Okay, there's my progress. Muscle mass is a little bit different. You can't really measure, and it's a very slow process. You can track your lifts. If you're getting stronger in your lifts, then you're building muscle, because if you're lifting more, then obviously you have more muscle to lift that stuff. So for me, I write down my entire workout split. Let me go show you actually. These are messy. Ugh. These are messy workout splits. So this is from like a long time ago. But, so like look at this. So I write out like my workout, and then I have like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6. And I keep my workouts for 6 weeks at a time. The same exact ones. I do the same exact workouts. And I'll go and I'll have a rep range for myself, and I'll write down like what weight I was lifting and how many reps I got. And then the next week, I try to get all of my sets of that with 1 more rep. And then the next week, I try to do all of my sets with 1 more rep. And once I get to the higher rep range, like if I'm saying I'm doing 12 to 15, once I can do all of my sets with 15, then the next week, I increase my weight and I try to get all of my sets with 12. And then I just keep, and then I try to get all of my sets with 13. And then I try to get all of my sets with 14. And then I try to get all of my sets with 15. So I'm progressively overloading my muscle with more weight or more reps. And so if you're just going into the gym and you're just doing random things all the time, you're not really going to be able to measure if you're actually progressing in anything. And you have to be progressing in your lifts if you want to be building muscle. Another thing about your lifts is to make sure you're doing compound movements and isolation movements. So your compound movements are going to be things like your squat, your deadlift, shoulder press. Your compound movements are going to be things that are going to work multiple muscles at one time. Your isolation movements are going to be things like hamstring curls or bicep curls or dumbbell lateral raises. Those are just working one particular muscle. So, but you want both of them in your training program. For me, I always start my lift with the compound exercises, and they take the most energy out of me. So if I do a whole bunch of isolation movements first and like get my muscles all tired, I'm not going to be able to give all of the energy that I need to my compound lifts. And then your rep ranges. For muscle growth, you don't really want to go into the gym and be trying to set your 1 rep max all the time. Like, I know it's awesome to know that, but for bodybuilding purposes, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. People ask me all the time, how much do you squat? I don't fucking know. I don't know what my 1 rep max of my squat is. I have no idea. Or my bench, or my deadlift. I don't know. Because I'm not focused on what I can do one time. For powerlifting, that's huge. Like, that kind of thing is huge. So it's just what your goal is. But to build muscle, you need to make sure that your rep ranges are enough to actually be breaking down your muscle. So I usually keep my rep ranges in like the 8 to 12 rep range. Sometimes I'll do 15. I mean, I might do like a burnout set or something of like 20, but I tend to keep things mostly in the 8 to 12 rep range. And I might do 6 sometimes. You just never know. The third and final area of things to do to grow your muscles, okay? This is something that people overlook all the time. All the time. People overlook this, but it's so freaking important. It's literally like just as important as training. Resting. Your recovery is huge. If you're trying to build muscle, you have to be able to recover, and that doesn't just mean taking rest days. Yes, rest days are super important. You do need rest days. You do not need to go to the gym every single day. Oh my God, you don't need to. I go 5 times a week, because what you're doing when you're training, you're breaking the muscle down. You're not building muscle in the gym. You're not building muscle in the gym. You're breaking your muscle down in the gym. So what you do outside of the gym is what's actually building your muscle back up. So you need to make sure that you are resting enough so that your body can rebuild that muscle, because if you're not ever resting, your body is never gonna get a chance to rebuild it. Also, your sleep is huge. If you're only getting like 4 hours of sleep a night, hello, make that a priority. You need to be getting more sleep, like 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Get some sleep, make it a priority. If you really wanna build muscle, then you need to be able to sleep, because that's when your body is gonna be releasing hormones such as growth hormone. And that's when your body is really going to be able to recover from the training that you did that day. And again, back to your nutrition, you have to be in a calorie surplus. All of that muscle that you broke down, you need to be in a calorie surplus, so your body's actually going to use those calories to rebuild your muscle. Kind of going along with rest days is like the spacing of when you actually are training specific muscle groups. So for me, I don't train any muscle group within 2 days of each other. So like if I do back, I'll make sure I do like shoulders and legs before I do back again. Or I'll do like shoulders and rest before I do back again. So I always have 2 days in between working the same muscle group. And for me, like you can make that work and still hit all of your body parts. For me, I work legs once a week, I work shoulders twice a week, and I work back twice a week. And I still have my split set up to where I'm having 2 days in between working every single thing. And again, that goes along with resting that muscle group and allowing it to recover before you break it back down again. Because building muscle is just all about breaking it down and rebuilding it, breaking it down and rebuilding it over and over and over and over again. Those are the 3 areas. The last thing I do want to say is to be patient. Again, I know I said this at the beginning of the video, but building muscle takes a long time. You're not going to see results as fast with building muscle as you will with losing fat. It's just not that fast, guys. So, you're gonna have to be patient with building muscle. And that's why, like, instead of focusing on your looks, focus on progressing through your lifts, and then the look will happen. But if you solely focus on just how you're looking, if you're trying to build muscle, unless you're looking over a longer period of time, like I'm talking like months or years, then you're probably gonna get a little bit discouraged because you're not gonna see like huge changes. But yeah, so that's what I have for you for muscle building tips. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please, 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 please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really does help me. And let me know if you guys want to see anything in particular. I love talking to you guys. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.